DC Studios and WB Discovery have just registered a brand new trademark for an upcoming film. And within this trademark registration, it gives us a clear idea of what the upcoming Justice League film will be titled. Because if you guys don't remember, it was revealed before the release of Superman that they are in fact working on a giant crossover, which seems to be the reboot of the Justice League brand. So let's talk about what it is. One thing is for certain when it comes to trademarks, and that's that trademarking something is a dead giveaway for future plans with these massive universes. And you guys know by now that trademarks have given away so much in regards to the future of Marvel and DC. All the way back post Man of Steel, there was multiple trademarks for multiple DCEU projects, which were thought to be a joke, including Batman v Superman, and Batman v Superman Fight or Flight, and various other names up until they finally went with Dawn of Justice. At the same time, about 6 years ago, Marvel's biggest trademark leak ever happened, where they had like 12 titles that were trademarked for production. Now, out of everything that's ever leaked, about 80 end up happening, 20 are just sort of canceled because circumstances and franchises not moving forward, like the Eternal sequel, which was called Celestial's End of Time. Now, of course, recently, James Gunn and Peter Safran have been hyping up the future of the DC Universe, and James Gunn in recent interviews hinted at the fact that the Justice League would be forming, and that we're looking at this bigger picture sort of approach to, all the heroes uniting. That's bigger than Man of Tomorrow or what we had in Superman, for example. Well, a brand new trademark was just discovered that was registered by WB and DC Studios. And this is the trademark for Salvation. So, if you guys haven't been watching Peacemaker or didn't watch it, at the end of the series, we find out that Peacemaker has been sent to Salvation. Salvation is a planet somewhere in our galaxy, or they could change it and could be in another galaxy. We don't really know. But the planet is meant to be a prison for any metahumans or anybody that Argus deems like a threat to Earth. And the first prisoner there is, of course, Peacemaker. Now, at the end, we hear that he's not there alone, as there's giant dinosaurs or more than likely parademon noises, as Salvation in the comics is a training ground for Darkseid, who I still suspect is going to be the big villain down the road. James Gunn has made some recent comments saying, not exactly, but again, they don't really have anybody bigger than Darkseid. He is like the biggest DC villain of all time. Whatever the case is, Salvation is clearly going to be in play. As James Gunn has said, it's important in the future of the DC universe that we're going to get back to it, just not with more Peacemaker, but with other pieces of content. There's rumors now that the Green Lantern show might deal with some of that, as they keep teasing that Peacemaker and that is connected in some way. Man of Tomorrow will directly deal with it, as James Gunn has stated, and Peacemaker is going to lead into that because Lex Luthor is sort of helping or helped with the whole Salvation thing. So again, there's a lot of moving pieces here. And since they registered Salvation and Salvation Run, obviously, if you look at this, Justice League of America, Salvation Run is like, the compendium, everything collected into one. And this was the run that a lot of people assume they're going to adapt. Now, James Gunn has recently stated it's not really going to be one-to-one. That's not what they're doing, and that's not the goal, because again, they can't do that. You got to change things from the comics, as we always say and talk about it. So you look at this and you realize that the direction that they're going in is definitely going to be Salvation, but it's going to be a remix, just like Marvel Civil War, for example, and a couple other things that they've, changed elements of, like, hey, all of Infinity War, right? That's nowhere near Infinity Gauntlet per se. It's a different remix. But if we just look at what we know and what they're leading to, obviously Justice League Salvation, as James Gunn has said, another Justice League will happen, is a given right now. and the formation of the Justice Gang and the opening of Peacemaker featuring Superman and Supergirl working with the gang, clearly that's the proto-Justice League. So let's talk about how this is all going to come together. So obviously, Justice League has to be the end of what is their phase one, but they call it chapters, Gods and Monsters, right? And if we really think about this, we are still so new to the DC universe. We have Creature Commandos, and Creature Commandos is getting a second season. We also, of course, just had Superman and Peacemaker, but we got Lanterns. We, of course, got the upcoming Supergirl. We got Clayface. We got Sergeant Rock. There's multiple projects happening, and they're all going to contribute to this. The ultimate goal will obviously be to unite everybody just like the Justice League and to have them face the big bad. Now, again, who is the big bad? Who knows? We don't really know. But I think what's important here is to look at the bigger picture and what they're doing and how they're going to get there. And I think that we're already starting to see the pieces form. You literally saw salvation in Peacemaker, established in a TV series. So when we get to Man of Tomorrow, we're going to see it from the film side of things, where obviously by that time will have gone by. There's going to be more prisoners on there. Who knows who else is on there? And that way, a prison planet that is run by Darkseid in the comics, who knows if it is here or if he discovers it or whatever, is going to have to be a pivotal point of the entire story. My theory is that Salvation is proto-apocalypse. It's the planet of apocalypse, and that it's going to become that once Darkseid is sort of like awakened with the anti-alpha equation and all that, and all these portals, which in Peacemaker 100% look like boom tubes, no question about it. I think that that's sort of the buildup. And what else we're going to get is that sort of Dinosaur Island type of deal that's sort of a stopgap in something. So I think the picture that's, for me at least, forming, that's kind of becoming clear, is Man of Tomorrow is going to lead us to some sort of proto-Justice League project that's Dinosaur Island, that also involves Salvation, and the Justice League film, which, remember, again, they confirmed will happen. They are going to do it, is 100% DC Studios' Justice League Salvation. And that name also has a double meaning. Not only is it a Justice League reboot, it's the salvation of the brand. Because somehow, the DCEU and DC and WB managed to take a brand name, Justice League, that was more recognizable than Avengers, and make it bomb. This will be James Gunn's salvation for the entire brand. Thank you for checking out that video, and thank you for your continued support. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, do whatever you will, and if you're so inclined and would like some additional content from us, which includes unfiltered content and bonus discussions, we do offer exclusively in our member section. We hope to see you there. So thank you for watching, and have a good one.